from humble beginnings to learning from your failures to becoming a great success. What is your success story? Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. What's your definition of success?
What's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with the second episode of the Family Success Chronicles, and we have the fathers with us today. Like I said in the other one, if you got a chance to watch it, in my family, I think we've been blessed to be around some good families, and I think in your life you always want to be around people that when you leave them, you feel like you're better. And the families that we have in this episode, we definitely feel that we're better when we leave them. And so these are the fathers in this episode. All right, if you could just go around and say your name so they'll know and who you're married to. So from the episode, they can put you together.
My name is Greg Robinson. My wife is Candice Robinson.
Okay. All right.
My name is Manny Trujillo. My wife is Candice Trujillo.
My name is Paul Thomas, and my wife is Alicia Thomas.
All right. So, the wives, they talked about their number of kids and their ages and the number of years they've been married. So we don't have to do that. They already did that, so I'm going to put you on the spot with that. But just three major questions that I want to get with you guys. And the first one, what is the secret to maintaining a successful family? What are you thinking? As a group, what do you guys feel about that?
Sorry, Paul. I think anytime you work with a group, there's got to be compromise. You've got to work together. I mean, and this is your most special group, your family. So hopefully, when you pick that person that you choose to do life with, part of the process of dating and things like that, you're going to learn compromise. So I think that's one of the biggest things that has to be is compromise between the two. You can't always get your way. You can't always be, this is what I want to do. It's what's best for the family.
Yeah, big C word.
Yeah.
She see the camera.
She's very shy when we first got in there. Now we're opening up a little bit. Cheese.
All right. And the other guys.
I think just being rooted by God. When I went to marriage counseling, my pastor was talking to me. You got a really important role that you need to play. And he said also, I was the head. He said by me being the head, I would determine my family's blessings. I could either allow my family to be abundantly blessed, or I could get their blessings cut off. And so I had to choose and be in a particular role that was going to be beneficial, not just for myself, but for my family, for God.
Yeah.
And I think that's really most important is just, letting him play a part, using him to know the things that you don't know. And if you, get guided by him, I don't think you can go wrong with a situation where you're trying to intertwine more individuals and their feelings and just building that family based off of his
the word.
what he says. I think from there, then you can learn how to deal with society and deal with other people. But not having him included, I think is the biggest piece from my house. We believe in him, and he shows up every day, and we do too.
I think to piggyback off of Manny and Paul, the compromise. I think that's very big because there's lots of changes and there's lots of opportunities for you to need to be flexible. And I think the compromise is a big part, whether it's with the schedule or with the family event, the holidays. I know for myself, with my career, it's a give take. It's more of a give on your end as the head of the household, but you don't have to try too hard if you keep Christ in your life and you keep Christ centered, because if you follow the way, it shows you the right thing to do. And if you're on that and you don't veer off, the right things are kind of laid for you. It's just
Blueprint.
it's a blueprint.
Right. Stay on that path.
Just strapping everybody up and getting on that ride. It'll be bumpy.
Yeah.
Just
Might
stay
take
on
some detours too.
Might take a little detour.
Yeah.
Get back on as soon as you can. And things like that.
Life itself is a constant grind.
Yeah.
Like you gotta every day get up, be ready to feed. You may get tired of it, but it's a constant grind. And I think that's the most important thing too. When you're talking about what needs to be done in the house and building your family, everybody needs to know it's gonna be work. It's gonna be a continuous struggle. It's gonna be a continuous grind. And so I think that's really important too. That way everybody understands what needs to be done and keep it operational.
I think too. I think it's important, like a team. Like you were saying with the family. Everybody has a part to play to make the family be successful. Every person in that household, and so what you have to do is, whatever your part is, everybody's got to do that to the best of their ability.
Right.
And so, there's some times where you'll need some help, but I think that, at the end of the day, if you're doing the best that you can to strive to be better, and following, compromising, and following the word and the blueprint, then you'll get to where you want to be. And y'all do a good job of that.
Right. I think also is reading your family.
Yeah.
Knowing when somebody needs a little extra help.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing if somebody's a little down. That's being coaches. Knowing when somebody needs a pat on the back or whatever, and being there to pick them up. That's the ultimate part of family, right there. Being there for each other. And I think, and you show that, and then that carries on from you, through you, on to their families.
And generational.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Next question. What is one thing that has been challenging as a husband as it pertains to your family, and how did you overcome it?
I think.
Do we have enough time?
That's what I was going to say. It's time.
There you go.
Where do you put your time? It was something I struggled with in my previous job. I felt when I was at home, I felt I should be doing something at the field. When I was at the field, I felt like I should be doing something with my family. It was a hard balancing act for me, and I never really found the right piece of it. Which really caused me to change my career. But I think where you put your time, coming home and when you're home, being here, not just being physically
Right.
here, being
Yeah.
here, you know, for everybody, for your family.
Yeah, that's one thing that I I've always, the same struggle, like you said, the time, people don't know as far as with the coaches, like, for example, like in the football season, like we'll put our son or kids to bed, Wednesday night and won't see them awake to Saturday afternoon,
Right.
and so, first of all, we have great spouses that, take care of us. For the wives there over there, make sure we have great wives. But the thing is, I mean, like you said, it's a balancing act, and that's one deal that I've truly, like, every day I make a conscious effort to work on that. Have a little math in our interview here. Like some people look at the pie chart or pie graph is 100% total. You break it down for 25, 25, 20. Well, to me, I think every avenue that you want to be successful at, you got to give 100% to each one of those. So, like to me, my chart is 1,000, so, because I ain't giving, 25%, to my wife. I ain't giving 25% to my son. I'm not going to give 25% to those kids in my job, like I got to give all of them 100%.
Right.
And so, for me, that's kind of how, I deal in the time challenge. And it continues to weigh on you, every day, but at the end of the day, hey, I might be at 80 on this today. I got to get to 100 tomorrow. The checklist, check. Then you go, and then, like you said, another thing, and it's a funny deal I tell about myself, like, man, when I leave work, I'm leaving work. Like, there may be some things that I have to do or get done. I'll stay late to get it done. But when I leave work, I try to make a conscious effort to leave work. Like, there was some time when we worked together, and there were some things that would happen, and our wives would talk, and they know about it. And my wife was like, hey, why you didn't tell me about so and so and so and so? Like, man, that's work. Like when I'm at home, like, I'm not concerned about any of that other stuff. Like, y'all are what's important to me now. Like, that's work. Like, where's family is work. And so I think when you make that conscious effort, when I come in the house, unless it's something, major that, I need to bounce off and talk about.
Right.
But the major deal is, hey, man, that's work. Like, this is y'all's 100. I got to give y'all 100. And so if I let the other stuff weigh into it, that's 80, and I can't deal with that. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. So, like you said, to me, I think that's one thing. That's the time, and it's a constant struggle. I think it's also great when you have a spouse that understands it. That's your passion and your love. Like, like, I love what I do.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, it's my job. Yeah, no, I love.
Right.
Like I love what I do, and it's great when you have a spouse that truly understands your passion and supportive of that, and it makes it easier with the inner struggle with the whole, time, because I can't, give them less than 100.
And it's not just in the profession that, the coaching profession. It's any job.
Anything, yeah.
Anything. Again, but sometimes you got to make that choice.
Yeah.
And, I chose my family, over that career,
Any day.
and I don't hesitate, one bit with that. That I made the right choice.
Yeah. Any other challenges you guys have?
I think, and it's hard to get talking here. You guys are good, man. You guys are taking everything. And I'm looking at the question. Some of the challenges are actually some of the things that you ask what makes, a family and a marriage successful. Those are some keeping you working on the work, working on those things. You say, you leave the work at work. There's some things that, my wife had mentioned communication was a big key. Coming home and be able to talk to her
About that.
And she's outside the box. So I can just talk to her, you know, and she'll give me insight or give me guidance, you know, and sometimes I just need to vent, you know, and so for her listening. So communication is a big key. Sometimes we're in the hustle, you know, and communication is key. It needs to be balanced, even, you know, and received equally on both sides. Keeping a very healthy balance of communication and being flexible is the same thing that makes it successful. The same things that I see that I
Can be challenges as well.
constantly working
Yeah,
on,
right.
constantly working on.
Right.
And it needs attention. You know, there's some times when we're together, and there's some times when communication is just miscommunicated, just a small inkling, and it can kind of domino effect into And so my best friend taught me this little earlier in life about just going through the proper channels. You know, if you need something or heading off a potential hazard, that might come up just by simple communication planning. I'm an adjustment guy and a flexible guy. I can adjust and I can be flexible. My wife, she needs to be, she's a little bit more straight and narrow. She needs a little more time to get it together, to get her thoughts together, to get planned, And as a coach, as a guy, hey, honey, what the hell? Let's roll with it, Yeah. So that's a big deal that she's taught me about her is, just a little bit of effort, a little bit of attention to that previously, and that'll help things go a lot smoother. Right. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's okay.
Hey, everyone's different.
Oh man, so that helped me out a lot. That helped me out a lot. We'll come back once the event is done, or that travel is done, or that adversity is overcame, and the storms passed, or the dust is settled. We talk about it,
reflect on it,
yeah,
and be thankful
like
for what you've done.
Exhale. Say, hey, so this is what I need. So this is it. Huh? That's all I need to do. Yes, baby. Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem.
Right. So I like that, man. Everybody gave a challenge. I think my challenge for me is what it really helped me to become who I need to be for my family. Consistency. Once I figured out exactly what I need to do, you just don't do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah. You got to do it 7 days a week, and I think that was a challenge for me. And so I work in computers. I'm like a robot. Everything I do is all day long. That way, I don't have any failures in my program. Everything goes the way that it needs to go. Alicia has expectations, so when I fall off, I hear something, and I'm like, well, why are you? Okay, I'm off. I'm not consistent. I'm not doing the things I need to do all the time. So I think as a father and as a husband, you can eliminate a lot of the confusion, the miscommunications, and just basically be consistent with what you're trying to implement every day. Yeah. There creates an understanding in the house. The kids know when Dallas Cowboys come home, don't care about my phone ringing. I don't want to care if you're going outside. We have an understanding. They actually watch the clock, you watching the game, and I'll be like, what is it? Because I know you want something, but they're respecting the fact because I'm very consistent with what I do. And so I think that's a challenge. When you get in the house and your wife not going to be the same every day. Your children are not going to be the same every day. There's got to be somebody that's got to keep pushing and fighting for everybody in the house to be the robot, to be what it needs to be to click, get us all back on track. And so for me, just being consistent, being the same guy every day, not just with my family, but at work, giving you the perception that I need you to have about me so there won't be any doubts or misconceptions. Just learning to be Michael Jordan, 30 points a night. Yeah, you know that.
With the flu.
Yeah, you know that.
That's what he done.
Yeah.
MVP, rings, well, consistent work. He went out and did that. And so I feel like for me, that was my biggest challenge, just being consistent. First of all, you gotta learn what it is expected of you and what you need to do. But once you learn, start knocking it out every day, just same thing, consistent.
I think also, you guys may agree, I think because consistency brings about longevity. You know, I watched this ET video. He was talking about Tim Duncan, and he was talking about how Tim Duncan, he not flamboyant or flashy. I mean, he's like, man, I can't even find any highlights on my dude. Like I'm looking for highlights. Do he have a highlight tape? Right. He got the same move. Shooting off the glass. Right. It's consistent. And that guy, he played for years, and if people know what they get from you, I think that consistency brings longevity. And I mean, you can look at that at anything. First of all, your relationship with God. Just personally, as well as family wise, job, all of that stuff. And when you can give consistency, I think it brings about longevity.
And I think anybody that you talk about Tim Duncan, I think anybody that played with Tim Duncan will say,
"Oh yeah,
he was the ultimate teammate."
Yeah, he's money. Yeah, he's money. Like we know we can depend on that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And really in family, and I think that's what a spouse is looking for. Somebody they can depend on.
Yeah. Like I think too. Yeah, man, that boy good. Yeah, that boy good. Put a pad on it. Yeah, man. Woo! I think too, man. Maybe this train thought he's so good. I can't think what I was gonna say. No. I think, like you said, in anything, I think it brings comfort to our wives to know that I know how he's going to respond to that.
Right.
I know that I can count on him that this is going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the same way. Yeah. Like with our wives, we have some special wives. Like I know, by the shadow of a doubt, and they talked about, in theirs, making sure that everything is okay.
Right.
Like we know that they do that. And so like man, like if we mess up, like she got it's good. It's okay. But we also, have to work to provide that too. So that they know that hey, I know that all is good. He got me. And so I think that brings about again a successful family, right? And that consistency is a ripple effect. Your kids see that. People around you see that.
Right.
And again, it's generational. It's not just a right now thing. It's a generation because we got that from our folks.
Right.
The people who were blessed to be around.
And your wife is. I feel like my wife is my prospering partner. I feel like we get
church. Come on, somebody. Come preach.
But basically, we got we got married and we got in a situation, and I think once we started, having children,
it helps.
It helped us to realize it's not about the way I do it. It's not about the way you do it. We're going to get together. We're going to tag team it, and then we're looking to take a step forward every day. We're looking to grow every day. Finances, spiritually, in the community, at our jobs, being a parent, taking care of our parents, giving back to the people in our community. Just everything that we do, we look to prosper. She's my prospering partner. And so going into it with that attitude, you realize as a team, you can grow together. And you do it the right way. And as long as you are going about it the right way, it's going to be successful. And then you add the main ingredient, which is God. Nobody's perfect. I make mistakes every day. I try to be seamless. I try to be flawless, but it just doesn't happen. I'm going to make a mistake.
It made me laugh because the little joke that was that Cedric the Entertainer?
Oh yeah.
Like, man, we calling them grown man delicious or flawless. Flawless. Delicious. Hey, Young D, delicious. But yeah, I agree.
But I think if you go into it knowing that you and your wife is a team,
yeah,
and You're gonna have some days where you're not gonna be at your best.
Yeah, no
I'm gonna have a bunch of days where I'm not at my best.
doubt.
But as a unit, we need to set a standard of what we're trying to accomplish. And not only that, we want to be able for our accomplishments to reflect so people can see the success that we're having as prospering partners. So I think that's really big for the house.
Yeah.
Being a team as a parent, realizing what you need to do. And then if we tackle everything together, I mean, a two-headed monster is always better than one. And I think that's what has helped us to be able to do some.
Oh no, stone, turn you to stone.
Right. But I think that's big.
That's good stuff, Parsons. I like that. Good concept. All right, as a parent, what do you do to instill values?
You can't raise kids the way I feel like my parents raised me today. When I got out of the bed, when I had to go to school, I couldn't come out of my room until my bed was made. There was a process that my parents used. They used belts, they used profanity, whatever they needed to do to keep me in line. I didn't make my first B until I got to college. Like, I thought it was automatic to make A's. That's how much my parents were disciplining me and my brother. And I appreciate them for it.
Yeah.
But then I tried to implement the way my parents parent me with my children. Is not really going the way that it should go. Or I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. And so I realized, you got to change in the generations now. Certain things you see on TV that when we were growing up, we didn't see on TV. It's just a different environment now. And so as a parent, I'm realizing, I got my butt beat every day. I got chewed out all the time. But I can't use that with my children. You got to be able to adapt to the way that the world is today in order to be a successful parent. The environments that you're creating for your family. I think that's most important for getting the kids to understand what you're wanting them to do. I think children don't realize how successful we want them to be. They take it as chewing. But boy, if I didn't care,
Right.
I wouldn't even spend my time saying anything.
Right.
So I try to tell my children, look, I don't say much. I let my wife do all the talking. But when I do talk, it has been collected thoughts, unconditional. When I sit there and I have that conversation, everything that I'm saying to you is to make you a better person, to make you be somebody. I will always be your number one fan. I don't care what your friends tell you. I'm telling you this because I want to see you be better than anything I ever could have been. And it's hard to get that concept into children. You can't get them to understand it. And I think that's a process of life. Because we had the process, if we had the program, we probably get our kids to do everything we want. But they're individuals, they got to learn themselves. But I think that's one of the most important things for me and my children. And I think one of the ladies were talking about, it was Evan, talking about how Evan comes to her and tells her things before it even gets to her. That's warm to my heart because you need to have that relationship with each one of your children. They all should be able to come talk to you.
Yeah.
They all should be able to let you know what's going on. Anytime your child doesn't want to talk and tell you things that's going on in their life, for me, I think that's a problem.
Yeah,
I deal with that. I have a child that doesn't want to talk to me. And boy, all I want you to do is be successful in life. And I'm your number one supporter. And I'm going to back you up to the fullest. But I don't know what to back up if you don't give me anything. I don't know what kind of parent to be for you if you're not sharing that with me. But let me let you know I'm your number one fan.
Yeah.
Let me let you know that I'm here to see you be successful. And so I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm back off.
Kind of freestyle. Yeah, off the dome. Let's go. No, I think that's a passionate deal because, when you think about your children, just like you said, you want them to be just like our parents, doing that because we love you and we want you to be better. And if I just let you just do whatever, then that's not good.
That'd be my job.
I failed you as a father if I didn't make you do what you're supposed to do. That's a passionate thing that I think you have to have. I think one thing I just say, my upbringing, I just talk about because you talk about kind of yours. I think my mother was the same way. She was a single parent mother. We got it. But one thing that I truly appreciate is and this is one thing I learned too, as far as first of all dealing with my son, and then as well teaching and coaching. I think you have to have those expectations. You need to be clear, and you need to communicate that. Hey, this is what I expect from you. This is what you will do. And then the flip side of that, you need to communicate. There's rewards and consequences. If you do what you're supposed to do, then you're successful and there's reward. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, well, hey, I'm gonna be on your butt, boy. It's consequences as well. And so the main thing, I think the communication is big, so you build the trust from both sides.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think with, kind of instilling their values, they're going to have their own values. But I think you need to lead by example.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care wherever we're at, what the age of the person I'm interacting with, it's yes sir, yes ma'am. I don't care if I'm at a drive-through with a 16-year-old young lady or young man. I'm yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. I'm just showing them the respect. And I want my kids to see that. Now my kids don't do that all the time, but that's something like we're lucky to have some honorary grandparents here in the area, and whenever they'll ask Carson or me a question, they might not respond the way that we like them. So, but I'll pull them to the side and remember you say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes sir, no sir. But that's part of teaching also. But the thing of it is, lead by example. If they see you doing that, and thankfully, there's been numerous times I think Candace talked about maybe picking up Isaiah from somebody's house and them telling Candace, or I know they told you, Teddy, probably many times too, that he's the most respectful child. And it's good. I mean, there's been numerous times we've picked up the kids from school, and a teacher that I didn't know, they see I'm the parent, and they'll stop and say, just want to let you know,
That's good stuff.
you got good kids.
Yeah.
So that that lets you know that you are doing your job. It's not done. You're doing it. You still need to continue. But I think leading example, and also knowing their group, knowing who they hang out with. As when they're younger, Carson, me his age, but I have a 16-year-old son now, and or 15-year-old son, I'm sorry, about to be 16. But he has a great core group of guys, and great parents also that they're surrounded with, and I would have no hesitation with allowing him go off to a weekend with them, vacation with them, because I know they're gonna do exactly what they'll get on to him if he's not doing something right. They know they have their permission to get on to him, whatever, but. And they're going to get their values through that also. And you hope in a situation when their values are kind of questioned, even within that maybe core group, that they're going to make a good decision. We've all been through that before. Peer pressure, it might be your best friend. Hey, let's do this, and maybe in your mind, well, I shouldn't do that. And I always say, if you got to think about it too long, you probably shouldn't do it.
And it's good too, and I can say that from us growing up, because we grew up together. When you have good guys around you, them guys ain't gonna let you do things around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, like don't do that, man.
It's like when you could just, like somebody you had a relationship for a long time, you don't even really have to say anything. You just make eye contact with them, and like the word flawless came up, and we cut eyes, and we both knew, that's a funny right there. But And that's the great thing about, you know, relationships and,
Yeah.
you know, I know if I got a tech problem, I know who I'm calling.
That's a good relationship to have,
Right.
man. Hey,
Well, you could take a step further and be like my wife, and he'll bring his friends over, and she wants to meet the parents.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I thought it was kind of like, why you? Like, it's just his friend from school. Like, why we?
Fall far.
Right.
That's not a small far.
And so I got the knowledge on that now. I understand that. So it's important to know the parents of the kids that your son spend a lot of time with. And it helps you to fill in the gaps, get an understanding, and lets you know what you need to do. Because like you say, I mean, parents a certain way,
It
child.
helps you kind of see
Yeah.
kids.
I'm pretty sure y'all do that as coaches.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's right off the bat.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Not that I'm passing judgment, because I'm
Right.
far from judgment,
Right.
but it just helps put two and two together. You know, my with Isaiah, my situation is a little. It's absolutely family, but it was a little different. You know, because he was prepackaged. You know, he's my nephew, but we took him in, so I wasn't. You know, I don't know. Not to say ready, 'cause I don't know if you're ever ready. But I knew that he was family. I know to jump right in and take care of that. And, that was probably one of the biggest blessings I ever had to fall on me. That's each year I look back and reflect, and he gets older and older. And like, there's no separation. It's just married. You know, it's Greg and Isaiah. You know, with me and him.
Yeah.
You know, I know where he's come from and where. You know, it's funny how God works, because he's shown me a lot. The closer to him, the more I look at try to compare where I may have went wrong and where I would have wanted him to be better, or where I would have went better. And so with him, like, I was not to take an approach as my players, but I'm very all about life applications. So I try to seize every moment to make it a teacher, and not to harp on, but just to make a comparison. And then when we get to the house, you know, then it's the expectation foundation is laid out. It's different, you know, because I'm very cautious. You know, I didn't have a father growing up. I have a grandfather, so my mom married. So my guy that I respect and honor, my stepdad, who is my dad now. We were married. There's no step, we're together. So I try to make a strong point to marry that between me and him, to make him feel comfortable and loved, and he can come. And so now that we're over that, you talk about the values, and then you get into the pre-adolescence, the music, and the culture that we see.
I was gonna ask you to tell. We talked about this last night as far as like the music. And so you have that. He was cutting his hair. Just having those, the haircut discussion, barbershop discussions. He's just talking about the music. You can tell that story. He tells pretty good as far as like the listening. Hey, determining what's good and what's not, and talking about it.
On our way from San Antonio to Conroe, when I was making that transition, a little bit before that, me and Isaiah would go in the car, and I'm very eclectic. I listen to all kinds of music. Some days, if I'm fishing, I'm in a country mode. Some days, I'm in an alternative mode.
You take fishing with you too, by the way.
Yes.
That's like
Plug. So, and I talked to him about the different types of artists he listens to. Hey, what's that song about? And so there's some music I listen to that it entertains me, but it may have some choice words in there, and I'll take a moment to tell them about what they're talking about. Tell them, man, sometimes music is for entertainment. So some of it's going to make you move your body and move your head, and it'll fit the mood you're in, but it's just entertainment. Don't ever get that confused with real life. If you watch a video, or if you hear the references they make, it's entertainment. So don't ever get that confused. And so now he'll play a song and he's like, "Hey man, how's that?
What's that about?
It's good. What's that about? Uncle, I don't know, but it sounds good." I'll get back to it. All right, man.
I like that.
You know,
It's entertaining.
yeah,
It's
it's
entertainment. That's it. I like to use that.
Timber in there hearing that, so I told him, man, don't ever get it confused. That's okay, you know, you're listening. So, you know, he's with his auntie. You know, he listens to soulful music and gospel music and R&B. You know, Beyonce was with me. You know, there's no telling what he'll be
Down south.
down south. You know, whatever.
South
whatever I'm with.
side.
So, and I'll give him a little bit as he's getting older. Hey, man, you know, let me hear what you listen to. Oh boy, he'll get going. Yeah, I'm cool. All right, cut it off. So it's, oh man, so that's a good deal. You know, man, I remember the first time I had to spank him. You know, it was with the spatula. I'm so embarrassed, man. It was over soda pop. You know, and I was so afraid of how to handle that. And I was like, well, I want to be right. I told Candace, well, he did make some good choices, and this is the multiple choices he made in a while. Got a spatula out. So, Greg with the spatula? Why didn't you want to hurt him? You know? And so as it got older, and as he is with me, he takes a lot of he's with me through a lot of situations, young, appropriate situations. You know, he's with some older ones where he sees some things, and you know, like I said, I try to make everything a life application. And you go back to how do you instill values. You know, you talk about something and you be about it, and you show him, but then when he sees the adverse effect of it, or if he's on his own, observes that. You know, I was always a chore guy growing up. My parents, my dad was not, you're gonna sleep the day away. You need some chores, you get some direction going. You know, and I tell them, when you get your own place, and you get a family, you know, what are you gonna do? You have to teach your son or how to clean the restroom, or how to wash dishes when you don't want to do it. You know, when things are piled up, to go cut the grass. This is gonna help you when you get a job.
Right.
You know, there's gonna be some days you're sick. You just don't feel like it. You're gonna have to get up.
Do it.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to get through it a little bit. Same thing with your schoolwork. And you know, I always tell him that I just want him to have a real good, strong beginning to life. I don't ever want you to have any excuses. I'm not gonna give you a way out of anything. You can put your mind. You can do anything you put your mind to. So as he's getting older, you know, we started talking about the class load and the strength of classes and how hard they are and how it relates to college and with your jobs and you know, things that I know that will help him. I'm trying to show him along the way, you know. So there's lots and lots of little life application moments, teaching moments.
Teaching him life.
So and I have Angel now, and so now you know girls get into the picture. So then you have a sister. You know, imagine if. How do you want a guy to approach your sister? Or how do you want a guy to approach your mother or your auntie or your grandmother? You know, you start thinking about that when you're with lady now. And it's like, okay. So.
Oh no, my auntie probably gonna hear that.
There's a lot of little mini grown man that goes on. Cause I don't want him learning anything. I don't want no stone unturned, so to speak. If he gets out and gets it, if he doesn't know some information or he's misinformed the wrong way from the wrong person, you know, if we're going to touch on this subject, this is what I know. Tell me what you know. This is the right way to do it. We'll go about it. And if it's I'm uncomfortable, well, you're not ready for it.
Right.
So get out of there. You know, we'll come back in a year or 2 or 3. And then we'll talk about it.
Oh man. That's good.
Sip of water on that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, are there any other things that you guys want to talk about? Any closing ideas as far as having a successful family? Any other things you guys want to mention?
I think everybody pretty much touched up. I think this was a good deal today.
Yeah.
Everybody got together watching the girls. And, just knowing it's a constant grind, I think, man. I mean, that's with everything with me. As I get older now, as I'm starting to understand how life is, just knowing I gotta grit, I gotta work, I gotta keep being better, I got a role to play, I got people looking up to me, I got people need me, I gotta be able to provide. he set the tone for the household. You know, I love sitting back and looking at my family's success. Wife teacher of the year, kids bringing home A's. You know, just a list of nothing but positive things that let me know my family is out here getting it. They're doing what they need to do. And it's my place. It's my house. And I'm the head. I must be doing something right. I must be doing something good. Like, okay, well let's keep it moving then. Let's keep digging in. Let's see how far we can push this. You know, from going to an apartment and having a house built and having a car note and having 3 or 4 cars and the paid, you know, just it's the constant grind of doing what we need to do as parents. We're reaping the benefits. God giving us the ability to do these things, and He's rewarding us for it. That's why we're able to do what we do for our children. Apply the resources that they need, and that's why they're having success. And then everything that we're doing, you know, I feel like I'm at a table right now with a bunch of genuine guys. When I'm at the barber shop, I hear guys continuously talk about you, continuously talk about how good of a coach you are to them. You're being talked about afterwards. You're on these children's heart despite what they're doing and what they're going through. So you're paving the way for other young men to be men. And I think that's big, man. I think that's big.
Well, you know, touching on that, and something I really believe is that good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
You know, I really believe that. And one thing I'm really appreciative of this is, you know, it's family, but it's also your support group. You know, I know if something comes up, you know, I could call y'all, hey, can y'all watch the kids for a little bit? We got this going on, and it's vice versa too. And you know, as we get to know each other better, I know we've known y'all for a number of years. You know, getting to know y'all. You know, hope you realize that, you know, we're here for y'all as well. So it's that support group. You know, yeah, it's a family, but in my mind, I think I don't have friends. I have brothers. You know, I consider you guys my brothers. You know, I'm pretty. You know, I only let certain people in. You know, there's people that, right. You know, people that I feel can benefit the family. You know, benefit the situation. You know, maybe try to keep some negative situations out of it, and things like that. But I'm supportive. I appreciate the support group that we have and established. From it's like we brought a little bit of home, you know, up here also. And you know, you hope your kids see that too, and they do the same thing also.
And I think the good thing is, you know, just, you know, the reason why, you know, you guys are here as far as doing this interview is because, you know, I think you all have successful families. You know, and with all of that, it's a, you know, again, like I said, it's a trickle effect. You know, we've got good stuff from our parents. You know, we're just trying to pass it on so that our next generation will be, and you know, just the trickle effect goes down the line. So when you understand the importance of doing those things and understanding, hey, at the end of the day, it's not about me. You know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, what can we do to make people that we love, it's just better for those people, you know, and so you can't go wrong when you do those things and make those sacrifices.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Yeah, you gotta make those sacrifices. Well, thank you guys so much, man, for interviewing with the fathers episode of the Family Success Chronicles.
We thought ladies talked a lot.
Yeah, right. That took us 2 takes, man. We got some time. We're like, man, them dudes, y'all out there looking, man, them guys should have talking.
Good stuff, man.
I
look up to all of y'all, man. Y'all all got something I
Same
say.
here.
It's mutual respect, man, for everybody. I hope that you guys were able to take something, guys, people in general, not just guys, but yeah, guys. We're able to take some nuggets from the deal here. Thanks for joining with this episode of the Success Chronicles. We'll see you next time. God bless.